everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at page 5 in your lesson book. So go on ahead and open up that. And we're going to be spending all of our time today working on shifting, specifically shifting on the D and the A string. And so I always like to set up this page by saying this. If I gave you a piece of orchestra music that had the notes and rhythms exactly as they're written on this page, you would not play them the way that they're asking you to play them here. Okay? It doesn't make sense to shift back and forth unnecessarily a million times. But the point of this page is to get you comfortable with shifting. And so they've designed these exercises specifically so that you can practice different types of shifts, going from certain fingers up to different fingers in third position. And you'll see as we go through that, all of these shifts are different, and they're different on purpose. Okay, so it's important to keep that in mind. We need to follow what they're asking us to do in the book, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it would be the smartest way to play a piece of music. So I hope that that kind of makes sense to everybody. And we're going to start right with number 21. Now, a couple of things. First of all, they're always going to mark what position you're in unless you start in first position. So all of these start, I believe, all of these start in first position, and they have not marked your position. But then they mark when you shift to third, and they mark when you shift to first. And I think cellos, you go to fourth sometimes, if I'm not mistaken. I guess we'll deal with that when we get there. But they mark with Roman numerals what position you should be in. So if we look at number 21, we start in first position, and we can confirm that because the first note is a G, and the finger number over it is how you would normally play G on your instrument. When we get to the second measure, that's where everyone shifts to third position, and they've marked it with a 3. And then when we get to measure 4, everyone shifts, unless you're bass, back to first position, and they've marked that with a 1. So we need to be really careful and follow exactly what they've asked us to do. If you're a violin or a viola, you might be wondering what finger pattern we are using. For this entire page, it's going to be the 3-4 pattern, space, space, close. In cellos, they tell you if you need extended or regular third position. So we are starting, like I said, with 21. This first type of shift is one of the easiest types of shifts because you're going from an open string, and during the time that you're playing the open string, you move your hand up to one finger in third position. So you have extra time to get up there. Okay, so we're going to play 21 together, nice and slow, following the directions they give us for the shifting. So we're starting in first position. Here we go. And we shift. And we go back. Good. Keep going. And shift. Awesome. And you may have noticed if you're a cello, that second shift, you go to third extended. And the reason they have you do that, the first finger still ends up in the same spot. Third extended, first finger on G. But you need to stretch your second finger to A so that your fourth finger can be in the position to play a B natural. So to stretch your fourth finger. So that's 21. Moving on now to 22. Now we're doing what we call a 1-to-1 shift. So if you look in the second measure, everyone's first note is an E on the D string, one finger. And then our next note is a G, which would normally be 3 fingers, but in third position, it's 1 finger. So you can see it's 1-to-1. That's why we call it a 1-to-1 shift. So that's the one that we are practicing in number 22. So let's give it a try. By the way, if you notice at the beginning in measure 1, your first notes are the E and the G. So you get a chance to hear what they sound like before you have to do the shift. So really smart writing on the composer's part with this. So here we go, number 22. Ready? Here we go. And we shift up. Good, stay up there. Now back to first. Beautiful. Nice job. Okay, now, depending on what instrument you play, it's a little bit different for 23. Violins and violas, we call this a 2-to-2 shift. You're going from F sharp up to A. So this one's a little bit more challenging, but I know you can do it. Cellos, yours is a 3-to-3. It's the same notes, F sharp to A, but you play them with 3 fingers instead of 2. So here we go with 23. The same idea, you get to get that A in your ear in the first measure so that you know what it's going to sound like for when we shift up. So here we go, 23. Ready, and. Here's our shift up. And we stay in third. Back to first position. Good. If you are having trouble finding that A, the 2 fingers in third position, one suggestion I often tell students when they're first learning is stop when you're playing, just stop, move your hand up to third and put down 1, 2. Then you know you're in the right spot and then keep playing. If you do that a few times, eventually you'll be able to just do the shift right up. Same thing with cello. So that's a quick, just a quick little way that you can practice if you're having a hard time with that. Okay, now 24 violins. And violas. This is a 3-to-3 shift. So you're going from 3 fingers here. And again, if you're having a hard time, stop. 1, 2, space to 3. And you know you're in the right spot. Cellos, a 4-to-4 shift. 4 fingers, and then you're going to third extended, 1, space to 2, space to 4 for a B natural. Okay, so this one's pretty tough if you're a cello, but I know you all can do it. So here we go, and again we hear in the beginning, and then we go. It's the same notes. It's really smart how they've done that. You can get it in your ear before you have to play it. So here we go, or before you have to shift. So 24, 1, 2, here we go. Now we shift up. Stay up there. Back to first. Beautiful, nice job. So we've just done all the shifting on the D string. Now the next 4, and you might notice this just by looking, are the exact same thing. They're just on the A string. So the types of shifts and the intervals of the notes will sound the same. The melody should sound the same and familiar to you. You're just doing it on a different string. So it's kind of like if you start Twinkle Twinkle on the G string instead of starting it on the D string. It still sounds like Twinkle, it's just in a different key. So I'm not going to play through all of these with you. I'm going to leave some for you to do on your own. But maybe I'll do 27 and 28 so that you can hear those. Okay, so here's 27. Shift. Stay in third. Back to first. Beautiful. And last but not least for today, 28. This is that tough one. This is the tough 3-to-3 or 4 to extended 4 if you're a cello. 28. Here we go. Nice job. Okay, so we will go over all of page 5 in your lesson next time. And if you have any questions, as always, please let me know.